12 tips for designing a small garden. In this example, a modest home is brightened with a small garden built into the driveway retaining wall, entirely in scale with the home itself. A mass of rudbeckia, a few coneflowers, a morning glory vine climbing the lamp post, and some whimsical figures combine to create a personal touch. This is a very small front yard and it could easily be lost among the other U-framed houses lining the street. But these homeowners enjoy a cheerful burst of color every time they turn into their driveway. In a small garden such as this one, long-blooming perennials are the key to lasting interest. Here, too, the gardener has used wasted space next to the driveway to create a welcome home garden. The plants are easy to grow workhorses, coneflower, sedum, daylilies, and flowering shrubs. But here the space has expanded and seems to be expanding still, winding its way around to the roadside. Gardens this free-flowing are unusual in American front yards, yet it doesn't seem out of place in this example. Some people just have to have a vegetable garden, and you'll be pleased to know that it is perfectly possible in a very small garden space, if you plan effectively. You may have to squeeze yours into the only sunny spot in your yard, but a small space vegetable garden can still have plenty of style. Full-scale fruit trees are usually not well suited for small gardens, but fortunately, there are plenty of dwarf fruit trees and bushes you can consider. Many of these are even suitable for growing in large pots. And strawberries are quite easy to grow in patio containers positioned in small sunny areas around your yard. But using orchard trees in a small space may require special strategies. Even small gardens can use most of the design elements common in larger spaces. A good garden design will create a focal point, a destination for both the eyes and people walking through the garden. Here, a plain backyard is made interesting with a couple of modest-sized garden islands. If you have a small property, you might think you just don't have the space for a billowing flower border. But a keen eye is worth more than a double-wide lot. The large windows on the gable side of this house are a wonderful architectural element. Small gardens need to make use of every available feature, in this case, the attractive architecture of the home. The appeal of townhome living lies mostly in the reduced need for lawn and landscape maintenance, both for aging baby boomers who no longer want the bending and lifting associated with landscape care, as well as for young professionals who just don't have the time. But living in a townhome or apartment doesn't mean you have to surrender to a backyard dominated by a concrete slab patio. The smaller your garden, the more particular you need to be about making sure it suits an intended purpose. Here, a homeowner faced with a very small backyard but extensive exposure along a busy street has integrated garden plantings with sections of traditional fencing to create an effective and attractive screen to block sound and view from the city street. Making the planting bed part of the fence treatment also creates more space to garden. In small landscapes, usable lawn space can be in short supply. In this flat, rectangular lot, an owner who wanted to keep lawn space for play and entertaining has positioned the planting areas along the edges of the property and close to the house's foundation. This traditional technique is often used to maximize lawn space, and by encompassing the yard with ornamental plants, it creates a park-like feeling. In a small landscape with interesting architectural features, the garden design is best kept very simple to avoid making the landscape look too busy. In this example, simple potted geraniums, not a choice that generally wins any garden awards, are positioned along a stone wall that already has a wonderful texture. These simple spots of greenery and color add enormously to the landscape. In a very large property, you may have room to experiment with all types of materials for walkways, retaining walls, patios, and other landscape features. Such eclectic styles can often work well in very large landscapes. But smaller homes call for the use of landscape building materials complement or match those used in the home itself. This rustic wooden building with a country architecture calls for natural landscape materials, such as the stone retaining wall and garden wall. Note how this owner has echoed the use of terracotta planters throughout the property. Limiting the hardscape materials to natural stone and terracotta makes for a nicely unified garden design. Patio living is for outdoor lovers, and there is no easier way to link your home and your yard than to garden on the patio. Enjoying plants in a small yard is made easy by planting on or alongside the patio surface. It can be as simple as using containers for gardening and making good use of any vertical opportunities. Thanks for watching. Subscribe for more interesting videos. And please hit the like button for the YouTube algorithm.